catch here out in the street, and I'm afraid if I turn it around, if I turn the camera or the iPhone around, I'm afraid I'll lose it. This car right there, with the lights really dim. Oh, I got a little bit of power here. Are we back? All right, cool. I'm looking for. Right now, I'm looking for my power cord. So, I didn't prepare. I didn't prepare properly. Sorry. Where the heck did I put my power cord? I've only got. Where are you located? Oh, I'm in Joliet, Illinois. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I only got 10% power. So I need to plug this thing in. For it. Anyway. There's a. Ooh, I didn't break. I hope so. Anyway, there's a car. I'm gonna turn the camera around. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the fourth one down there, there's people sitting in it in the dark spot. That's what I call the dark spot down there. I've had people sit there in the car and then case my house, but usually they're not doing that because you can't see from my house. You can't see when people park there because the neighbor's tree blocks the view, but you can see straight into my house when you park there. But usually people aren't casing the house, but they're just screwing or smoking weed, etc., etc. So hopefully it's just that. Oh wow, I'm not even on camera. That's bad. There we go. It's in portrait because that's how I started out the live stream, and once you do that, the iPhone locks it in. So unfortunately. So the title of this. I never have all these problems. There we go. That's me moving around. That's probably what's causing that. But anyway, the title of this is like, uh, what do you want to see more of? You should see like the metric or whatever you want to call it, the metadata for this. You to the you Xavier Smith. So you sleep in your truck? No, not anymore. Whoop. JD Wells, hello. So you sleep in your truck or you got a house? No, I have a house. I was sleeping in the truck for about a month almost because, well, me and my wife got into a fight first, but then not like a physical fight, but like a standoff, verbal, petty thing that turned into a standoff. But then about a week into that, she found out that she had COVID-19, and I'm like, wow, I guess God works in some strange ways. Why does this thing keep falling? Yeah, I kicked myself to the curb. I kicked myself to the curb because we got into a petty argument. But then after that, I had like a standoff with her, and then about a week into the standoff, I find out that she had COVID-19. So hell to the no. I wasn't gonna go back into the house for nothing. So that lasted for another like two uh, 2 weeks and like 3 days. So like I don't know, 17 days. So 17 plus 7 or so. What's that? That's the better part of. It was the better part of May. We'll just put it that way. Oh, you gotta. Sorry to hear that, man. Been busy working, haven't kept up on the videos. Something, something. How are you? I'm fine. I'm just wondering. The title of this is like. This video is like, what do you want to see more of? Oh, how dark that is. The light doesn't work on the ceiling anymore. So. So my wife is sending me text messages when I'm making this video that, she's over by the in-laws' house with my son. And she's saying, I was watching a movie. There's a couple of mosquitoes in here. Did you buy that wreck Chevy? What wreck Chevy? Did you buy that wreck Chevy? What wreck Chevy? The car? Xavier Smith. Dominic getting the union? Yeah, Dominic's in the Steelworkers Union, which the Steelworkers Union is it's the same union that's uh, like where they make car tires. He doesn't make car tires, but yeah. Well, the newer one at the compound. What color is it? 'Cause you might be looking at something else. Okay, I'm live streaming. I hope my wife doesn't call. And when she calls, it knocks the video out, and I almost never can recover the live stream. So if this live stream goes dead, that's because the wife made a phone call and it knocked it out. So just, I'll try and recover it if it does get knocked out, but please understand that's what's happening. See, the light doesn't work in here anymore, and that's annoying. Oh, I had front end damage. Yeah, but the guy promised. The guy promised to give me the title, so I promised, hey, I'll pay you if you give me the title. I'm not going to give you any money unless you can produce the title. I mean, because what what good is the vehicle to me if there's no title? It's not, right? It's like, you know, at that point, it just becomes another hunk of iron. So, produce a title, and then I'll then the cheap pinhead. I open up the hood. The cheap pinhead pulls the battery out of it. So there's like no battery. I'd like to see more curbside action. Yeah, okay, well, that's possible. That's definitely possible. Yep, I think we'll do that. Okay, so chalk one up. One vote for more curbside action. Alrighty. Hopefully you get the title. Yeah, well, other than the smash in the corner, the front corner, it seems like a legitimately halfway decent beater scrap truck, which that's what you want to use. I mean, it's got 16-inch wheels. I mean, mechanically, the only thing keeping it from rolling is the broken tie rod. Put that together. That's about $30. Well, I guess it would be drivable. May we see you in your fleet. Keep rolling. Rolling, rolling. Who's saying that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully I get the title. What the heck did I do with the key? Hope I didn't lose it already. I had the key. I don't know what the heck I did with it. I should have put it on my other keychain. I drive them into the scrapyard. Oh yeah, right. Well, I drive them into the scrapyard. Yep, loaded with scrap. That's what we use to make money. You know, old beater pickup truck. Not gonna go around with a. What fool would go and spend, you know, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 on a pickup truck to go and pick up stuff that's worth pennies per pound, 6 cents a pound right now. I mean, I do see a few people driving around and, like, I mean, I guess, you know, reliable, air conditioning, okay. But for a few pennies, oh, that's where they go when I'm done with them. Well, I guess if my channel, if I don't abandon my channel, eventually you'll see what I do with them when I'm done with them. But I'm not really done with any of them because, like the yellow one runs. I don't know if you can see it in the video. Can you see it? Thing runs, but I've never figured out what the problem is exactly. I haven't made time to do it. Just been, you know, like the junkyards are, everything is starting to open up again. Because this, you know, the looting and the rioting and all that crap seems like it's simmering down, and that COVID-19 thing seems like it's coming to an end, and things are starting to open up again. Keep them going. Yeah, well, I need to keep them going. I don't like spending money on. The one thing I hate doing is spending money on acquiring another truck. You know what I mean? I know you have to put money back into the business. I hate doing it. I don't. I want to. If you go. Okay, now I'm battling. I'm winding backwards. If you go to almost any scrapyard, American scrapyard, I mean, I've seen European scrapyards and videos and stuff like that, and they're like, you could practically eat off the ground. The places are so neat, and equipment is so modern. But I don't know. Most scrap yards in America, or at least the ones around here, they are beat to hell. I mean, the equipment is the equipment is trashed. The buildings are always like it's like third world quality. The roads going into the scrapyard and leaving are always filled with huge potholes. I, it's nothing like what you see in some videos of like, people taking stuff to the scrapyard in Great Britain and any European country where you're allowed to actually scrap. I know you can't scrap in Germany. Too many rules. I guess once you put the stuff out by the curb, the government owns it. Scrapyard is scrap. Right. So scrapyards around me anyway, they put very little money back into the business. Just what they absolutely positively have to. And after that, you want to get as much. You're dealing with the lowest value that something will ever have, and that's when it's scrap. Okay, and getting squeezing money out of that narrow margin is very difficult. So you kind of want to avoid pouring money back into it. That's my takeaway from years and years and years of doing this. It's all scrap in the end. Yeah, well, of course. Everything ends up, when you go. I can't go into Walmart anymore without like looking at stuff and going, okay. I found 3 of those yesterday. I found one of them yesterday. Go down to the next aisle. You go over to like where the toys and the bikes are, and I look at all the bikes and I'm like, I've scrapped every one of those. Every one of them kind of bikes. $86, you know, $98 bike, $58 bicycle, you know, a tire pops or something like that, or a pedal falls off and the end of the bike. Nobody's gonna invest. Well, they'll just get another one. Yeah, the bikes. Yep. Or the vacuum cleaners. You go over. Have all vacuum cleaners are expensive, but a cheap plastic vacuum cleaner. I mean, I see some of them at Walmart like $298. I'm like, for that piece of crap? I just picked up one of them things yesterday. Those fancy areas by Elgin and Aurora. Oh yeah, sure, Aurora. Made in China. Yep. How much longer? I think India is going to start to replace China. What's the oldest truck that you used to scrap with? Well, I have that. I have that white '89 pickup truck. It's a 1989 that I put a gas tank in and a fuel pump. So it's an '89. The dude rocks. Hello. The dude rocks. That's well, he's got a new channel. He used to be Scrapping Dude. Um, he does like request karaoke live streams and stuff. Shout outs. The New World Order. India will surpass China. Of course. Trump went there. When did he go there? Like 6 months ago? Just before this COVID-19 thing, like really, you know, and already, like I replaced like brakes on on the Dodge, and it didn't say made in China. It said made in India. Yeah, I got the '89 running. All the tires are flat, and the license plate is still like, really expired. Like expired in October of 2017. So that's like 2.5 years, right? I remember that. Yeah, after he went to India, um, now I'm start. Didn't really say what it was all about, but Indians threw a party for Trump. Yeah, well, I because they're not stupid. They know they know what that was all about. Yeah, oh, the sticker went up because of this fat ass governor, the 512th richest person on planet Earth. This guy is like Pritzker is like what 20 times richer than Trump. $151. Yep, and that's for the lowest cost license plate. Now imagine going to register that big yellow truck that I have. That used to be $561. So what did it go up to? I'm afraid to. I'm afraid to ask. Is it $50 more or 50% more? If it's 50, I'm glad things are getting better for you. Yeah, well, finally things are. Well, a lot of people, Gills, Skills had um, a GoFundMe thing for my channel, and yeah, a lot of people donated to the cause, and that really made things. That really helped out quite a bit. Let me tell you, like, couldn't have come at a better time because like hitting the fan all at once, like right? Uh, just before the plane crashed, I was able to start an engine, so to speak, and regain altitude for another go around. Now I wish uh, like how my channel is monetized. It's this is just we're not we're not on a large channel uh, income like Taco Stacks or Scrap and Pallet Man. You know, them guys are making pretty decent money off of that guy makes like he deserves it too. $170,000 a year on Scotty, yeah. Woo. Scotty Scotty makes $1 million a year. Or how about Hoovie's Garage? That guy makes really good money. That the mechanic that he has, the wizard, he started a show. I mean, he didn't have a show before, but just because he knows Hoovie and he's been working on his cars, he started a channel and like already, you go to Nox Influencer. It's all one word, NOX Influencer, and it's got all channels. Like the income for my channel is like never was really high. The highest I ever made one month was $257, and that was like a year ago. People making money for me watching. Yep. Have you thought about moving to another state? Well, okay, you know what that would entail? The the level of difficulty moving to another state. Now, what state would I move to? First of all, you have to select a state. Which one would it be? I enjoy your channel. Yeah, this state is expensive for this stupid little house that I own. It's $5,200 this year for real estate taxes. I ain't moving. Well, I mean, my wife doesn't like Indiana. She thinks it's depressing, but Indiana is a lot cheaper to live. But then the bad side of it is almost every state that's cheaper to live in, well, you also, most things there, you earn less money, okay? Most of these cheaper states, like West Virginia, is probably one of the cheapest states, but you know what? Um, Scrap prices are like $20 a ton there. Safer. What's safer? I'm staying in the middle. I ain't moving. I guess. I don't know. I don't know if. I guess if I moved, I'd move to Tennessee. Nowhere to go on the X. That's true. No infrastructure in West Virginia. No. I'm talking about like scrap prices are like, I don't know, this one yard that I checked out, my iPhone, it's $20 a ton. Okay, and there's a lot of poverty. So I mean, you go there with your Illinois dollars and set up camp there in West Virginia. Uh, Depending on what town you live in, you might make yourself a target. You know what I mean? So move to Illinois, Rock Kingdom. Where the heck is that at? I moved to heaven. I'm moving something something. I moved from Maryland to Nebraska. My I've driven through Nebraska, and my image of Nebraska is like vast nothingness. Mustang Dave, Arkansas. I have a relative that had to donate houses he had in West Virginia because no one. Well, yeah, see, I think I know what I'm talking about. No, nobody wanted them, but they're hey, you have your house. All right, now what am I gonna do with myself? Right? There's no jobs. Kind of with a hillbilly, Jerry Springer type of hillbilly quotient to it. Like Jerry Springer, how they sit somebody down and you know, you love your girlfriend. Oh, I love my girlfriend. And then they come out and then they start fighting and stuff like that. And my next move is to hospice. Whew, that's not good. Getting mad at my mom for uh, putting my dad in hospice care because I went every time I went to go and visit the hospice nurse was just sitting there. In the end, I don't know. I don't even talk about it. It just seems bad. To me, it just seems bad when the X comes. Yeah, when the X comes. I'm in Oklahoma. Don't dodge bullets like you do. Just tornadoes. Yeah, true. Right? Here in Illinois, you don't really want to cut somebody off in traffic like that, especially if you're in the city. Because you don't know. People might be shooting. You know how they have like, okay, Black Lives Matter, okay, because a white cop killed that black guy, and which was, first of all, let me segue from that one, which was that was completely mental what that cop did. Okay, all right, now let's put that there. All right, that was so wrong. Okay, but okay, I've always wondered. Okay, uh, in Chicago last weekend, let's see, there was 80 shot and 22 died, and I went to go and look at like some of the information and stuff like that. Almost, how come the black community isn't burning down the gangbangers' house and tipping over the gangbangers' cars? You know what I mean? I challenge that. I know Black Lives Matter, all lives matter, but okay, one cop, that guy that was super wrong, okay, like off the charts wrong. But you never hear, on the flip side, you never hear the outrage. 20 black people died at the hands of other gangbangers through drive-bys and stuff like that. It's wrong. Video's buffering and lagging for me too. Yeah, sorry about that. I switched from, I had like a good Wi-Fi signal for a little bit, and now I'm using my data on my phone. Yeah, a lot of bad cops. There wasn't 22 black people killed last weekend at the hands of cops. There was 22 black people died last weekend in Chicago at the hands of other gangbangers. The connection. Well, it should be okay right now. I kind of moved the phone around, but I'll talk about that. Got off onto that segue and stuff like that. The yeah, that's right. Uh, I don't know what do you want to see more of? Oh yeah, dismantle the law like Obama wants. That would really work. That would work well. Like who would I call? I'm in a car accident. Okay, or hey, we're having domestic. Who? No, I mean we never had physical domestic in my house. So, but people do. Okay, it's a reality, right? Who would you call? Your local gangbanger? Your local community organizer? Not serious. I know that. But I'm taking it to the extreme. I want to see more watch your step and blah blah blah. Ha 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 ha. Oh yeah, okay. The the junkyard. Well, yeah. I mean, now that more of the same. Thanks. LFIG says more of the same. Yeah, but okay. Like here, I was watching a Taco Stacks video, and then I was watching a Scrap and Pallet Man video. Okay, and the both of them are pretty much doing the same stuff that they've always been doing. Okay, Scrap and Pallet Man was going around, um, checking out garbage cans, and I don't know, he found a desk and some other crap. You know, nothing, nothing great. Okay, but the video is like 7 hours old or something like that, and it's already got 12,000 views. That's incredible. I watch a little of everything. Forget Taco, he's getting boring. Well, yeah, okay. He's got like 235,000 subscribers. The masks do not protect you against the virus, and the state is making people wear them anyway. Yes, the mask doesn't protect you from the virus, but It's, you know what it's there for? It's to keep the spittles. I'll have a pack of Pall Malls. The it's to protect. So the little spittles don't go airborne. And if you have a sneeze or a cough, it's to stop you from, you know, polluting the air. So I don't know. Um, some places are not requiring you to wear a mask anymore, like some gas stations. And I got a mask right here. I use this one to when I go to the junkyard. It's got like a little bit of dirt on it and stuff like that. But even the junkyard wants you to. Can you believe that the junkyard wants you to ask? Really? Oh, whatever. Mustang Dave. Unfortunately, it all gets old right quick. Yeah, that's true. That's why I unsubbed Scrap. Okay. Well, Mustang Dave isn't my show pretty much. I mean, some people have unsubscribed from me because you talk too much or too much complaining. You know what? I actually am not complaining. I'm commenting on stuff. But I guess it doesn't fly very well with a lot of people. So maybe a little less commenting on stuff. I like the rants you do. Some people like the rants. Some people it doesn't fly with, and they call it complaining, when in fact it really isn't complaining, because uh, it's just me being me. I like the rants too. Some people like the rants. I feel Lulak. I think that's what I say. I feel like Batman with no mask. Yeah, I notice lots of people are wearing masks now, and me and my son were having a discussion about this, and you know how like the government used Hurricane Katrina as a gigantic social experiment, okay? Like they do that to the military too. You know they use the military as like a like a I don't know like a human lab. You know, I honestly believe like they took advantage of Hurricane Katrina to study people, and I think this COVID-19 thing, I think they used it to study people and how many people would willingly comply and go along with. So me and my son were discussing this. Rants are great, and mocking people that don't understand poor people that don't understand Poorville. Sometimes I think we have people passing the gray poupon back and forth, and they're watching this downtrodden, dirty man picking trash. Oh, isn't that disgusting? But happy isn't reality. Well, that's what we have on a lot of these YouTube shows. People are 99% of the time they're just smiles and happy, and a lot of people don't like the the fat middle-aged man complaining about something. Haven't seen, but you piqued my interest. What the heck? I like the bikini Sammy wore the other day. Oh yeah, I seen it. You mean with the white? Was it the one with the white top and and the greenish blue pants? And people people complain to Tucker about mostly females um, complain to him about how much you know. This one commenter, she's like, "I'm a straight female, and I'm not very interested in all the much of your wife." Okay, well, it's not like Tucker like holds the camera behind her butt. It's like a half second, like I don't know. He's still young. I mean, he's what 28, right? I mean, she's hot. Okay, she's cute. So if I if if my if mine was that young and that cute, I would be doing the same thing. Not probably. I would be doing the same thing. There's no doubt about it. So he's proud of what he has. Okay. I wear the mask. Yeah, might as well. There's enough. You know what? There's enough idiots out there that are actually sick. And when I was at the gas station the other day, there was somebody at another pump, and they were like sneezing, and they were like, like that. I'm like, and they weren't wearing a mask. I'm like, oh. I'm like 40 feet away, but I'm wearing a mask, and I'm like, let me finish pumping and get out of here. I know I'm being a little extreme, but you don't really hear people coughing anymore. I think people are like, if they do go out, they're taking like cough drops or something, because coughing in public is like the third rail socially right now. It's hard to tell who. Yeah, right. That's right. That's what I said. Summer teeth, or the people with the people with British teeth. First place they go with sick kids. Yep, I get a lot of X's. Nah, he's 30. What? Tucker's 30? No, Sammy's 30, right? Maybe Tucker's 29. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well maybe he is 30. I don't know. Well, one thing I have to agree with the commenters are like, I've seen like many times. People are like commenting on his hair. Like I'm like, well, my hair is all crazy too. So, but like the clothes, I guess I don't know. Is the flea market idea still out of the flea markets haven't opened up around here at all. Not at all. They're still closed down. Just like restaurants, you can't in Illinois. You can't have sit down outside under a tent. But freedom to dream. Yep. So 29, 30, it's all good. Right. Okay. So he's somewhere around there. I know like Sammy had a birthday not that long ago, and she was 30. She just turned 30, so the biological clock is ticking now. Tick that. You know, I mean, these are like modern times, and people put off having kids. But I think it's not really a smart idea. I think that's why there's more autism too, is because women are having families, starting families older and older, and you know, biology doesn't know that we're modern. Biology just knows that the younger the better, I guess, right? When you want to have kids, instead of, instead of waiting until you're like 39 years old or 42 years old to have your first kid. You know, that's biology doesn't know. Our modern society knows. Like, don't start having a family until everything you have everything together. You're never gonna have everything together. It's just not the right time yet. There's no right time. I had a son when I was 39. No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that the older you are, the more risks of all kinds of stuff, and I don't know. Don't do that. I knocked my girlfriend when I was 16. She was 17. Yeah, that's not cool. I mean, she had an abortion. That's like, you can never undo that. You know what I mean? It mystifies me to like why people will have an abortion. They'd rather. Pollen is driving me crazy. It's taking my voice away. I'm sorry if I'm offending some people, but they'd rather kill it than wave bye to it. Like, just, have the baby and give it up for adoption. I have a 27-year-old. Yeah, well, I have a 26-year-old. He's gonna be soon. Ooh, yikes! He died of heroin. Yeah, the opioid crisis has not stopped, even with the COVID-19 thing and the lockdown and all that. I'm 28 year old. My wife is 25. Oh, that's all right. That's the 3 year age spread. That's nothing. Tell them I love them. Yeah, yeah. The opioid crisis has not gone away. Oh man, look at that tree right there. It's got like it's budding and out. It's got like little flower things on it. Look at that thing. Oof, man. I'm on my phone. Yeah, that's what I'm using. I'm using my phone. Pollen kills me too. Only some. Like, you can hear my voice like go like it's you can actually see the pollen dust if you look. If you can see by the street light, you can see how like hazy and gray it is. There's that much coming off of that stupid tree. Wow. Ooh. Let's see, where else people commenting? I missed the stream earlier. Why are you in the truck? Okay, well, the stream started out with me in the truck because I could get a Wi-Fi signal out here in the street and not use up my data on my phone. But then it started buffering, and then I had to switch off onto my data on my phone. So I can't get the Wi-Fi if I walk onto the curb. Then the Wi-Fi signal drops out. But I'm using my phone's data now, so that's all. The CCP be dumping massive amounts of opioids into. Oh yeah, I believe it. through through foreign, through the southern border, and by arriving aircraft, international flights. I think the SSK and his wife are spatting. What do you mean by that? We don't need to know that, bud. Who the heck is the SSK? Xavier Smith. Inquiring minds want to know. Who the heck is the SSK? It's all good. Xavier Smith, it's all good. No worries, mate. We don't need you to get. Yeah, that's true. It's shady. I. Oh, you mean. Oh, SSK, you mean Steel Scrap Kingdom. Ha ha ha. No, we're not splitting. I watch your channel to escape my troubles. And you find more troubles. No, me and my wife are not splitting. My wife's over by the in-laws, and I guess she's going to sleep there tonight. So, is what it is. And she's gonna take spat. No, we're not fighting. She's not home. Nobody's home. Dominic and Eileen are over by the in-laws' house also. My wife drives my kid to work in the city. Are you still not in the house yet? No, I stay in the house now, but I'm out in the car right now, or the truck, because I started the live stream here. That's all. Now it's getting better a little bit. Like the pollen isn't. Whoop! I spoke too soon. Oh, it's getting worse. So, come on, people, tell me what else. What do you want to see more of? Okay. Um, Stephanie Jacobs said more curbside action, and a couple other people said more watch your step. Yeah, I haven't made any of those videos. I do know the channel income is like, it's like drying up like a dead lake. I want to see you fix that van. Oh, what, the minivan? Yeah, it needs a power steering pump. Adios, my friend. I'm way past my bedtime, Xavier Smith. Yeah, where is that? Notice you don't hear the chime anymore when I open the door. Yeah, I got the power steering pump on the underneath the driver's seat on this truck right here. I like to watch YouTube videos on repairing stuff. There's not one decent YouTube video on fixing the power steering pump on a Chevy Uplander minivan. There's 4 or 5 YouTube videos about taking it out, and each and every one of the guys that are doing it is like a complete douche. They're so full of themselves that and when they finally get around to like fixing it, the camera's moving all over the place and the focus is horrible. I don't know. Go check them out and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's bad. Those are some bad car repair videos. The pandemic crap is old news. Yeah, I'm tired of the pandemic crap. People nuts. I think some of that. I think some of that was the reason for some of that, rioting and stuff. I mean, I'm pushing it a little bit, but people are, I mean, sick of being locked down. So keep an eye for them in the junkyard. I heard the U.S. The post office scrapping their Uplanders. I wonder why. Or they're probably gonna get those really ugly Dodge, those small uh, like the Ford Trans van. That thing is freaking ugly. And all the car companies have a version of that. Like there's a Dodge one, and there's a Chevy one. There's a Mercedes Benz one. Like they have those like flat sides, but they're mini. I mean, they're not like tall like what Taco Stacks has. I hate the way that he loads that van. Like he just like places every. And I'd have that thing like packed like that. I guess he does it like that because maybe he's trying to preserve the stuff so he can sell it or something. Because the way I do stuff, if I find something that's decent, it ain't gonna be decent once it goes into the truck. All the scrap is gonna annihilate it. Alrighty. So I guess more curbside action and what did it weigh and what did it pay? Those vans are European spec. Yeah, I know. They're not American spec. American, like, the traditional van, the full size van, like a Chevy van or a Ford Econoline, they're lower and they're able to fit in your typical garage, such as that one right there. Okay? You can't get a European spec van like a Dodge ProMaster into that garage. It has to stay outside. So my claim is in the not distant future, like starting now, you're going to start seeing homes being built with, I don't know, they're going to have to build garages taller, but that would mean the house would have to go up higher, and builders don't want to needlessly increase the cost of the construction of the home. So my claim is there'd be standard size garage and then like one attached to the house right next to it, and it would be taller. And that would be for your work van, I guess. I don't know. But that stuff don't fit in your typical American home, which this setup has always driven me crazy. The garage is in front of the house. The driveway ends up being really short, okay? So you can't really park many vehicles. You can only park 2 cars in that driveway. Okay? I like the old-fashioned way where the garage is on the side of the house and is behind the house. That way the driveway is kind of long. Like, whoever thought that that's a good idea? Having the garage be... Besides, I don't really think it's a good thing to park a car inside your house because cars sometimes catch on fire. You know what I mean? And if your car catches on fire inside your garage, it's going to destroy the house. I mean, it's going to destroy the house probably worse than a tornado, actually, because sometimes a tornado only takes the roof, right? I don't know. When a car catches on fire in your garage, the house is finished. Even if the flames don't get into every room of the house, that that plastic smoke and all that other stuff, the burnt tires, all that annihilates everything and anything in the home. You guys enjoying this show? Oh yeah, I've had a car catch on fire. I had two huge bottles of Diet Coke with me, and it was the trans fluid. The trans line broke the car, and I took the two liters of Diet Coke and I shook them up. I opened it up, and the pop started spraying out like a fire extinguisher, and I actually put the fire out. uh, I don't drink. I don't drink pop anymore. I do have water though. I got ice water in this jug. Yeah, I know. Well, panicking though. I had the 2 liters of Diet Coke on the seat next to me. Look, I always keep my drinks and stuff like that, right next to me. But it was more like scared panic. Like, I don't know. It's got carbon dioxide in there, so when you go and shake something up like that, it just comes spraying out. What's that say? What was the car? Oh, it was a 1977 Chevy Impala. And the trans fluid, because the trans lane broke, because, this idiot right here connected the trans lane with some rubber hose onto the car, so it's kind of my fault. Yeah, no, it was a decent car. I fixed it after that happened. Put I put all new brake lines in it. I put new fuel line and new transmission lines. So, you know, because all of them were ghetto rigged, the fuel lines. Well, although those old cars like that, they only had like 4 or 5 pounds of fuel pressure, and that was at the fuel pressure was at the pump, really. From the pump to the carburetor, and that was like only like 2 or 3 feet of fuel line. But the fuel line going from the gas tank to the fuel pump wasn't really under any kind of pressure because the fuel pump was mounted on the bottom side of the engine, and like instead of pushing the gasoline through the fuel line, it was the old ones would suck it like a straw, okay, and then push it into the engine. But the modern ones, the electric fuel pumps, are in the gas tank, and they push the fuel from the gas tank all the way to the fuel injectors. So that fuel system is, I don't know. Well, I know modern cars, like late model, and a couple 100 pounds. No wonder cars when they get into a bad car wreck, they catch on fire because the gas just comes spraying out. You know, back in the old days with the mechanical fuel pump, you really didn't see cars catch on fire when they got into an accident because you get into a bad enough accident, then the engine stops, and when the engine stops, the fuel pump stops. But modern cars, sometimes the fuel pump keeps going, even though the car's in a wreck, because the key for the ignition is still in the on position. Yeah, no. Now that we're talking about cars, so I don't remember what I did with the key for that smashed pickup truck. I don't know if I left it on the seat or if I brought it in the house. The heck did I do with it thing? Somebody's going to be cleaning this car tomorrow, I think. They'll be digging around for it. So what do you think I get at a U-Haul? Should I get a U-Haul? Clean up the compound a little bit? Turn in some scraps. The scrap price hasn't gone up. It went up for 3 or 4 days. It went up to 130 and then went back down to 120 in my area. Now the pollen's not bothering me as much. Of course, it's not as windy. See, it's not moving that much. A little bit. Glad I reminded you about the smashed truck. Yeah, what the heck did I do with the key? It's starting to drive me nuts. I'm not going to be able to sleep now. I'm going to be thinking about that. I hear a mosquito. I'm surprised there's not more mosquitoes out. I fixed that guy's Dodge Caravan the other day. The window was broke. It wouldn't go up and down. I did that because I used their garbage. Today's garbage day. Maybe rent a U-Haul if they don't give you trouble. What do you mean? Oh, the U-Haul? Well, yeah, there's this one U-Haul place I'll never rent from them again. I don't know. I'm gonna go to a different If I do, I'm gonna go to a different U-Haul place. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know. I think, because my big problem is you can only haul a very limited amount of scrap in a pickup truck. Unless you want to spend, a half an hour rearranging everything and stacking and packing it really nice and neat. My big thing is, first of all, I'm not a skinny guy like Mr. Scrappity. So climbing up and down in the truck is kind of a pain in the ass for me. Up, down, up, down, up, down, So, when I go around scrapping, I throw things into my truck. Like it's a garbage truck. I just pick the stuff up and throw it in there. So, stuff's always kind of a jumble. It's not packed in real tight. So, taking a load like that to the scrapyard, you're not going to get as much money, obviously, because it's not packed efficiently. Sure, I could climb into the truck each time and straighten things out and stuff like that, but At 300 pounds, that's a lot of wear and tear on the bod. You know what I mean? I don't have knee problems or back problems. I want to keep it that way. I can't imagine. I can't imagine it would be very good for you to. I understand the logic of if you were using the drawback is the cost and the timeline because you only have it for a limited amount of time. Okay, there's the rental cost, and obviously, you're going to spend money on fuel. But okay, you got to remember, you're taking a load. If you pack it reasonably, okay, you're taking anywhere from 5 to 9 or more pickup truck loads of scrap. So each trip to the scrapyard cost about $10 round trip. Okay, and then there's an amount of time that you spend driving to the scrapyard, unloading your pickup, collecting the money, and going back home or wherever it is you're going. Okay, that's a lot of time. How do I know? I do this every day. Now with a U-Haul or any other big truck, the gas is a one-time expense, so it might cost $15 to drive the U-Haul, but that's a $15 expense only once. Where the pickup truck, depending on how many trips you're going to make, let's say I'm going to make 9 trips to the scrapyard. That's $90 right there off the top, plus driving there to the scrapyard, unloading, and then driving back. It's 1 hour's worth of time. So that's 9 hours right there of driving and unloading. 9 hours. That's a full work day right there. Yeah, gas is, well, I don't know where you live, something, but gas is still kind of cheap here. But I know Illinois gas prices are higher than a lot of places. Right now it's $2.25 a gallon, which isn't too bad. It's not the greatest. I mean, when other places are way cheaper, like Oklahoma is what, $1.20 or something like that. But that's because Illinois makes the gasoline retailers use corn alcohol. I live in Nebraska. Do do they make you $1.70 there? Is there ethanol in your gasoline? Because they make the gasoline companies, they're forced to blend their gasoline with corn alcohol. The farmers like it because that's a guaranteed market for the food. You got the cars eating the food now. What a weird world. You have cars and trucks consuming food. We have both ethanol and non-ethanol. All right. Well, in my spot in Illinois, here in Joliet, you can only get gasoline that has been blended with ethanol. So the base regular is E10. 90% gasoline, 10% ethanol, and then there's E15, which that's 15% ethanol, and then there's E85, which is 85% ethanol. And I noticed it makes it cost more. Kingdom, ha! Art San Nova, non-ethanol is $1.99. Whoa, okay. Well, your state is backwards from Illinois. The the ethanol right now is it's a little bit more. Usually, the ethanol gas is cheaper than the regular gas, just like you guys. But for some reason, the ethanol is actually costing more. And ethanol has less punch to it, meaning cars using gasoline with ethanol actually get lower gas mileage. You moved there for the ethanol? Oklahoma is a lot cheaper than Nebraska for real gas. It gets like $1.20 a gallon. Ten people are living. Well, yeah, cheaper than Illinois. I know that. Yeah, this place. Uh, they take a. I lived in Maryland. Well, Maryland is expensive. Maryland is almost like Illinois. Maryland is a high tax state. Real estate taxes, all other crap, sales taxes. Look at Tennessee, though. They don't have income tax, and neither does Florida. Look at California. It's got like what, 10 or 11%. In Maryland, it's illegal to be poor. Well, yeah, because poor people are a drag. The Democrats have to actually fess up and feed them. They don't really want to do that. Yeah, Maryland is yeah, it's a little bit like Illinois. If you're poor here in this state, they really make it. I was like telling my wife, I'm like, I don't really want to. If we move, I don't really want to move to a state where there's like bears, because I'm a slob and I leave food in the car, and I'd have like bears breaking into my car, punching the window out to get at the McDonald's wrappers or the candy bar. I'm sure people that live in states where there's bears, they're disciplined, where they don't leave nothing. I understand not moving. Yeah. Well, also the family all lives here. My kids live here, so I would only. Oh, what's the price of that? Going someplace, moving somewhere to be lonely. Hey, look, I'm saving 20 cents on a gallon of gasoline, but I don't have any family. Woohoo! You for the 20 cents. You. I could end up spending that extra 20 cents that I'm saving on a gallon of gas, and I have to travel 900 miles back home to Illinois to visit. And when I'm here in Illinois, I'm spending my Nebraska dollars in Illinois. That's worse than spending your Illinois dollars in Illinois. I think that's my claim. Yeah, once you leave Illinois, though, you can't come back. You know what I mean? Because a lot of places are cheaper to live, but then when they're cheaper to live, you typically earn less. See that relatively not very big house right there across the street? That lady right there, she pays $6,000 a year in real estate taxes, which is nothing compared to some of the neighboring towns around Joliet, like parts of Bolingbrook and Plainfield and Minooka. And people are spending 15 grand. Yeah, I something something. Yeah, I go back to Maryland to visit my mom. I don't think I will ever move back. You probably won't be able to afford to. How long have you been in Nebraska? Uh, the longer you're in Nebraska, I mean, more or less likely that you, you couldn't do it. That would be like me trying to move to San Francisco, from Illinois. I sell my house. You can't even get like a modest house for like $750,000 there. 5 years. 5 years. I'm a master's student. Oh, oh well. Then you're probably living in an apartment or something, right? Or a cheap house, somewhere around the university campus. Like you go to some of these university towns, and there's like investor people that over the years they've acquired homes and stuff like that, and they make a good living off of that, renting homes to like graduate students and college students. People that don't want to live in the dorm or can't live in the dorm. It's $1 a square foot, 435 square foot apartment. That's all you need. That's the size of a garage, right? 400. That's the size of a standard two-car garage. 435 square feet. You don't really need any more than that if it's just you. That's like a little more than $10 a day, right? It's like $11.50 a day to have a place. And my wife and I have 3 cars. Well, yeah, you couldn't have all that living in a dorm. You can only have one car. At least that's how it was in the dorm that I lived in. You can only have one car. Two people to a dorm. That sucks. I would never do that again. Living in a dorm. You think about it. Oh well, I mean, if it's the two of you living in a small apartment. Here, my sister-in-law has 7 kids. Okay, one of them is severely disabled. Okay, I think it's failure to thrive syndrome, if you've ever heard of that, and some other things. But anyway, there's 7 children, okay, and a husband and a wife. All right, so that's 9 people, and they were living in 800 square foot. No, not even a 650 square foot home in Oak Lawn. All right, so there were 2 bedrooms in that house, and there's 3 boys and 4 girls, one bathroom. That's a bit crowded for that amount of space. But 2 people in a 435 square foot, uh, you could actually add 2 more people, and it wouldn't be unbearable. That's rough. Yeah, I know. A couple of the kids sleeping on the couch, somebody always sleeping on the floor. Uh, Mom and dad's bedroom, and a couple of the kids sleeping in mom and dad's bedroom sometimes. uh, they don't have that house anymore. They let it go into foreclosure, so they lived in it for free for 2 years until Chase Bank took it back. They let it get foreclosed on, during the Obama years. Up Kingdom, nothing really. Just trying to ask my subscribers what they want to see more of. Because apparently this channel is not doing very well. How do I know? Well, I have that YouTube creator studio, right? And the income level for this channel keeps dropping. I didn't know you went to college. That sounds like a video idea. I went to Xavier University in Chicago. Uh, what a what an expensive. Uh, for me, it's just a waste. I mean, you know, hey, for some people, they're college material, but for me, yeah. I was taking English and political science uh, were the 2 main areas of study. Yeah, college life. You're smarter than the okay, but the problem is, yeah, I get a lot of I had a college professors going, "You're a very intelligent man." Yeah, I don't understand why you haven't completed. I'm like, whatever, homework that I had. I'm like, cause it's so boring. I can't even approach it. First of all, I had a PhD grad that didn't even know how to inflate a car tire. Well, yeah, that happens when you don't actually like touch the real world. You know, you actually touch the real world because there's a real world out here. It's not really a matrix. It's actually tangible. If your face is looking at a computer screen all day and buried in the books, well, I guess that can happen. They said they would call AAA to do it. That's one way of inflating the tire. just go on your smartphone and app, and a high school dropout is going to show up and inflate the tire for you. Yeah, no, uh, and intelligence doesn't count for shit when it comes to working in the job world, because in the job world, they don't really want intelligence. They want somebody that's obedient, and they want somebody that can carry out the task. So, in other words, they're looking for a well-oiled machine that can perform said task. They're not looking for something that's going to start questioning every move. Or, hey, we could actually do it this way better. No, 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 no. Damn, man. I had a freaking newspaper route, okay? The kind that adults do, using your car. I couldn't even keep a freaking newspaper route. I would get the addresses confused. I would deliver the newspaper to the wrong house. I would deliver the wrong newspaper to the right house. Like, we have the Chicago Tribune and the Chicago Sun-Times. They're two totally different kinds of newspapers. Then you have the Daily Herald and a couple other like local newspapers. And you get a printout sheet of which house gets what paper on what day. And I screwed that job up so bad. They kept me on for like a couple of years. Like, what? The guy eventually fired me. He's like, I'm sick and tired of going on your route and straightening out all your screw ups. uh, God, how much did I make off that job? I made like this is like 10 years ago. Made like $220 a week, getting up 7 days a week. You go to the newspaper warehouse and you roll the newspapers, okay? Because they come in off the truck flat, like how you find them at the gas station. All right, you have to roll them and then you have to bag them. You put them in a plastic bag. And if rain is in the forecast, you have to double bag that newspaper. That's a lot of labor. Okay, so you're talking a newspaper route that's got 250 customers, and some people order more than one newspaper. So you're talking 300 and something newspapers that all have to be rolled, bagged, sorted, separated, loaded into your car, and delivered. Relatively simple job. And I would F that up several times a week. The wrong customer would get the wrong newspaper. Or even a non-customer. I would actually deliver the papers to somebody who doesn't even order a newspaper. Further proof that I am dyslexic. I'd see the address, I'd look at the delivery sheet, and for some reason, the address on the house would correspond with, in my mind, that's why I work for myself. Actually, I would love to work for somebody else, okay? Because you know what? Doing this, I could never leave work. But you aren't lazy. Well, see, if I was lazy and didn't, wow, there's a freaking bird running around out in the street, and it's like, what? Can you see that bird? It's a robin. There's a freaking bird pecking away for food or whatever, and it's like I don't even know what time it is, but it's like 11 maybe. That's bizarre. Anyway, Robin is hungry probably, but birds don't birds don't fly at night normally. But we have this bright street light, so it's 1 a.m. There you go, and there's a freaking bird around. Agreed. I did 6 years in retail and grew up low, middle class, so I feel out of place. 1 a.m. Can't sleep either. That's me. I don't know why the phone did like the power thing just now. It said 10%. I have it plugged in. I don't know. Maybe I'm holding it like too close because the phone feels kind of warm. Alright, I'm gonna hold it on the bottom for a little while. I have more energy at nighttime for some reason. I don't know why. Sometimes, and then like during the daytime, I'm like I'm scrapping and I'm driving and I'm like going like that, like oh, eyes are closing like as I'm driving around. I passed a pile of car rotors. I heard somebody whistling. I'm like, hey! And I'm like looking. And I looked in the mirror and I saw the pile of car rotors. I'm like, wow, that guy like must have thought like I got scrap out here and the scrap guy is just passing right by it. Like, what the hell? He's like, didn't you see him? I'm like, yeah, I seen him a little bit too late, but I don't know why I'm the only one talking. Yeah, it says there's 13 people watching. Guess they have nothing to say, or they said everything they're going to say. I can't get. I'm missing a lot of my subscribers. Don't show up on here on the live feed things. Well, maybe because it's kind of late or early, 1 o'clock. Yeah, so uh, in May, YouTube is still messed up. Yep, YouTube is always broken. Anyway, in May I made $122. Okay, and a year ago, May, I made like $256. Now, I mean, it's neither one is a lot, okay, but percentage wise, that's a huge drop, and that drop started happening around Christmas time. And when January came around, I made like $130 something, and ever since January, it just keeps going down lower and lower. So like a few dollars lower each month. So this month I'll probably. Oh, really? YouTube is having advertising issues? I was wondering that, and I went on that Nox influencer, NOXIN influencer, whatever, however you spell influencer. I don't know, but it's all one word, and it keeps incredible stats on the channel, on YouTube channels. And I looked at my stats on that, and I'm like, wow, this thing is like accurate almost to the penny. And all the other like metadata. Since YouTube has bad apples that ruin the platform. No kidding. What, like people making nasty videos and stuff? uh, yeah, advertisers don't want to advertise, I guess, on videos that are kind of sketchy. So yeah, the income level is dropping quite a bit, actually. I I'm wondering if that's part of their overall goal to demonetize a lot of channels, like just uh, not that there won't be ads on there, but they just won't pay you. So they'll be able to advertise for free on smaller channels. Yeah, some children channels got busted for doing gross things involving kids. That's weird. Like, why would you ever publicize? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, make a video doing weird things with kids. That's like, no. I mean, I don't know. I have kids, so I mean, and anything that's disturbing involving kids, like, just, like, it's too much for me to even, like, comprehend, you know? I mean, you end up screwing up the wiring of a child for life, doing weird stuff. So that's why YouTube made that kids policy. Yeah, I know. Each video that you upload, you have to put on there, no, this is not made for kids. You know. But according to my metadata, or whatever you call it, the statistical data, I have people 13 to 18 watching. 13, the biggest age group watching my channel is the 20 somethings to 40 something. That's where uh, the biggest age group, 25 to 40 something, 45 or whatever it is. Like, there's like nobody or almost nobody 65 and older watching my show. I guess it doesn't appeal to. Maybe if you get old, you're not able to deal with scrap like I do. I don't know. Or maybe old people don't relate to it. I don't know. I don't get it. And it caused bigger advertisers to back away. Well, like I seen, like I watched Scrap and Pallet Man video today, and they're, I mean, the video is like filled with ads. There's like counted 10 ad 10 advertisements in his video, the latest one, and two of them were for Ford, and one was an Amazon ad. So there's still big advertisers. I don't know, and four of the advertisements were for Facebook Messenger. Like I was like paying attention to like who's advertising. Like that's why I can remember. I can't remember all the ads, but those are the ones that stuck out. Kingdom, hello. I see you're still up too. Scrapping together. I watch all of them, man. That's cool. That helps actually a little bit. You know what I mean? It's it's all pennies, and the pennies become quarters, and the quarters become dollars, and the dollars become $10, $20. That's the idea. I'm sure that's what you're looking to try and do is get get at least 1,000 subs and get your channel monetized. How's the and let the ads play for you? Yep, that's cool. Thanks. Are you still taking your scrapping together? Are you still taking your scrap to Indiana? All your scrappers should. All your scrappers should all do a video conference. Let's see. Bill Kelly. I see all your vids. I really don't have hour-long video. This is like a live show, and it will turn into a. It will end up. YouTube will end up turning it into a video after it completely uploads. And it says 1 hour and 11 minutes long. I don't have. I don't have the space, the gigabyte space on this little iPhone 6 to be able to make. Hello, I'm back. Yes, it's up to $100 a ton here. Well, that's not bad for like where you live. I mean, I'm not tearing you down about like where you live, but usually like out in the sticks, so to speak, they take advantage of people because you don't have many choices. Yes, it's up to $100 a ton over here, but the yards down here won't pay outright. Like, how do you mean they won't pay outright? Like, they're holding back the money? That doesn't make sense. $100 a ton here, but the yards down here won't pay outright. What, they hold the money back and they mail you a check? I mean, what's the deal? Not picking the scrap. How do you mean? You're not picking scrap? Oh, being picky. Yeah, I went to the scrapyard the other day and I had a refrigerator and they used to dock 25 pounds for refrigerators, and now they're docking 50 pounds for a refrigerator at this one scrapyard. I'm thinking maybe I won't bring refrigerators there anymore if they're going to keep that up. You know what I mean? Yeah, when the scrapyards get picky, usually that means they're nervous that the prices are going to drop. Actually, they don't want to be stuck with a bunch of garbage. I mean, if the prices are rising, they're not picky. Like if the scrapyard knows, here I'll be like Tom from iScrap. Okay, hi everybody. No, prices are rising, so bring in your garbage too. Yeah, no, scrapyards, the big ones. Okay, when the prices are rising, they're less picky because they know they can deal with the garbage. But Indiana isn't so picky. I wonder why. Well, maybe Indiana's not paying as much though either. Is is Indiana paying the same amount? See, the one yard that I go, Waterworld, place is hit or miss. Sometimes they're really picky about dumb stuff, and other times they're not. Like they took 50 pounds off for the refrigerator, but they didn't take anything off for the folding table that had steel legs and a steel like that trim ring thing that goes around. A folding table. But they didn't notice or pay attention to the wood that it was made out of. Oh, here in Illinois. Oh, no kidding. How much are they up to in Indiana? You're right at the border, though, too. I don't know. Scrapping is a hard deal, man. 110, hey, that's actually if you're not that far from the border and you have a big enough scrap load, I guess it's worth the trip. I know, what the heck was I going to say? When the price goes up, gasoline prices go up usually. Maybe you scrapping together collab. I don't know, maybe. Oh, 20-minute drive, that's not too bad. 20 minutes. So that puts you like 50 miles from the border, probably. Because I'm assuming you're not taking it on the highway. That's what I need to get. I know people have been suggesting for a long time that I get a trailer. There's somebody else. There's some competition in the neighborhood. They drive a full-size Chevy van, and the guy's got a trailer now, and it looks like they're killing it. Oh yeah. Have you ever made T-shirts or mugs? You need one that says. If I had one that says "you" on there, I might get in trouble with Tucker. Older cars, there's no title that buy as shred. Uh, if you ever make T-shirts or mugs, yeah, right. You ever hear of Shark Scrapper? He made like this silver coin thing, and he did pretty good with it, like a giveaway. Maybe it's time that I how to do a giveaway, whatever that would be. Something that people would actually want, not something that like, hey, I won this giveaway. I don't know what the hell do I do with it. Ends up in like the bottom of a drawer somewhere. You know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of these channels, the people have merch and stuff like that. Like, if you go to Scrap and Pallet Man's video or Taco Stacks and stuff like that, guys got hats and mugs and T-shirts, and it would be like, man, I'm selling clothes on my channel that are in better shape than the stuff that I'm wearing. I could see the comments. King, you should patronize your own store and get yourself some new clothes. Right? Who would wear decent clothes scrapping anyway? I mean, I guess, I don't know. Another video idea, do a pallet run if they are open. Yeah, I wonder if they are open. They might be. I mean, everything is starting to open up in our state. This has been a really rough, like, 3 or 4 months. Really sucks, you know. Yeah, I do have quite a stack of pallets. I got like what, maybe $150 worth of pallets. That's a good video idea, I guess. In the upcoming days, I don't think they're open on the weekend, so that would have to be a weekday thing. If I if I did that, I would do that probably like on a Wednesday, and that Wednesday wouldn't be this Wednesday. That's for sure. You know what I mean? Okay, something said. There you go. I found a bag of gloves at the curb and washed them up, and that's smart. I mean, one less thing to spend money on, when you're scrapping. Okay, there you go. Scrapping together. You found a bag of gloves, which is smart, actually, because scrapping is something you really don't want to sink a lot of money back into. You want to get as much money using used stuff or kind of worn out stuff is the order of the day. Because, sure, you can buy all kinds of stuff and the very best of everything. You'll actually be in the negative forever. You know what I mean? If you actually want to make money doing this, you really want to avoid spending money on stuff. So, finding a free bag of a free bag of gloves, that's pretty good. Uh, all right. Well, at least I got a couple of video ideas out of you guys. I'm just trying to figure out to get my channel to be making the big money. That wear the good gloves. Oh, okay. They use them at the refinery. That's smart. Glad we could help. Right? There you go. Yep. All right, kids. At least I got a couple of ideas. You know, I'm going to. I don't hear any traffic at all. I think I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go to bed. And maybe I'll make a video tomorrow. I don't know. Good night. Good night, scrapping together. Good night, something. Good night, everybody else. Adios.